So I will go ahead and open the breakout rooms.
Just as a reminder, you are in the escape room.
Yes. Man, that was bananas, Miss Allison.
Bananas. Just like this banana.
Yes, just like that banana. All right, guys, if you could also put turn on your cameras if you can, so we can see who we're talking to. Hello, hello.
You guys, we have a fun escape room for you, handcrafted by us.
We made this escape room. Has anyone ever joined an escape room before? Raise your hand.
I see some head nods.
Did you guys escape? I would like to know if you've escaped. Yeah? Okay, so maybe you will escape this one, but we will see. All right, let me. So you should see our form, our Walking Teens escape room. Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen.
I see lots of thumbs up.
See lots of thumbs up. Okay, so just like any Zoom or game we do online, we have rules that we should follow. So I'm just going to go through our escape room rules. So the first one is communication is key. Whether you're examining clues or trying to solve a puzzle in the game, your team needs to clearly and continually communicate with each other. It's easy to talk over each other in a virtual escape game, so we ask that each team must stay muted and raise their hands if they would like to say something. Only answer when you're called on. So if you raise your hand, please wait for me and Miss Allison to call on you to unmute. As you guys can see, there's a lot of you on there, so we would love to hear everyone's comments, but we also want it to be organized. Okay, so only answer when you're called on. Please utilize the chat to communicate with the group. So if you just wanna, if for example, you're trying to solve a puzzle and you have a comment about it, go ahead and put it in the chat.
You guys are all one team. So everyone in this Zoom is one team.
So you're all trying to escape as a group. Communicating as a team will help the game go smoothly, help you escape, and will make it as fun as possible. All right, so next one is when in doubt, ask for a clue. Escape rooms are full of puzzles to solve, and while those are fun to work through, don't let your team get stuck on one problem for too long. It can cause frustration and unnecessarily run the clock. You've only got an hour to escape, and remember, there is no shame in asking for a little help sometimes. You are allowed to ask for 5 clues during the game. All right, and next one, if you don't already have a pen and paper, go ahead and grab that. We have some games or puzzles where you will need something to write with. Give you guys a few moments if you don't already have that in front of you. And then lastly, there is no cheating in this escape room. I don't want to see teens on their phones Googling answers. That will not make this game fun. So let's just try to work through it together. You guys, there's a lot of you on this call, and I believe that you will solve every single puzzle or riddle just by talking to each other. And again, be respectful and have fun. Thumbs up if you agree.
Venus, you're going to see it on your screen. Miss Mary's sharing it, so there's not a link.
Yes, so you will all see the screen on my, the form in front of your screen right now is what you will see For everybody, this is where you're going to see all the clues and puzzles. You don't have to go on a different website. Okay. You guys ready? Oops, gotta put in an email. All right, Miss Allison.
Okay, guys, here we go. It all happened so quickly. Miss Mary turned on the news and realized that the East Coast was under attack. People were getting very sick, very sick. Doctors and specialists couldn't figure out what was making them sick, and people were panicking. A few days later, the infected people started developing weird symptoms such as inability to speak, decaying and discolored skin and eyes, as well as extreme violent behavior. Miss Mary realized that she needed to warn the clubs, so she makes a phone call to Mr. Dustin, but to no avail. So then she tried everyone else, Miss Allison, Miss Lindsay, Miss Leslie, but no one was picking up. Miss Mary turned the news back on. The newscaster said for some reason communication between states had been disconnected. What is going on? Miss Mary said. In panic, she texted Miss Erica, but she receives an error immediately saying undeliverable. She texts Miss Jerry, but nothing. Miss Mary cannot believe what is happening. She turns up the TV and the newscaster states, "Everyone, please try not to panic. The government has issued a statement explaining that each country in the United States has a safe zone. You'll find out where that safe zone is when the time comes. For the time being, here are the things that you will need to survive. Number 1, maps. Number 2, a vehicle with a full tank of gas. Number 3, an emergency kit. Number 4, walkie-talkies. Number 5, water. Number 6, hot Cheetos." Miss Mary looks around her house and exclaims, "Ah, I shouldn't have eaten all my hot Cheetos last night." And then the power goes out.
And there's a picture of a random infected person. Okay. All right, 9 days later, Mr. Dustin opened his eyes and realized he's not in his apartment. Oh no, not again, he sighs. He looks around and sees a row of beds with people laying in it. Where am I? He asks himself. He gets up but quickly feels nausea take over. His knees buckle but feels someone help him up. "You're awake," Miss Leanne says. "Why am I in the hospital?" Mr. Dustin asks. "Long story. We need to get out of here and find everyone," Miss Leanne explains. Mr. Dustin doesn't ask any more questions and puts his Dodgers hat on and says, "Let's go." Mr. Dustin and Miss Leanne leaves the hospital and realizes they need an emergency kit. They walk over to a CVS, but the doors are locked. To help them open the doors to get this kit, you all must solve this riddle. Eggs are 12 cents a dozen. How many eggs can you get for $1? So this is your very first riddle.
So now's the time you want to start using the chat to talk to each other and figure this first riddle out.
Just a reminder, you guys do get 5 clues, but you probably want to save those for harder riddles or questions. So I'm getting 8, 96. So while you guys are seeing answers in the chat, go ahead and think about the answers you're seeing. So if you have a different answer than everyone else, maybe kind of think about it. Is their answer more correct than mine? Which makes sense.
And
so
I will tell you, so far, I have not seen the correct answer.
Me either. I'm seeing a lot of 8 dozen. Evan said 64 eggs, 5 dozen. Abigail says 96. Yep, not seeing the right one. So Ava has a little math problem in the chat.
So read the question again, guys. Eggs are 12 cents a dozen. How many eggs can you get for $1?
So if someone wants to raise their hand and talk through, I see Ruben. Ruben, you want to kind of talk through the answer so your peers can hear you? If you want to unmute.
It would be 96.
Oh, there was some feedback. So I'm seeing 96, I'm seeing 100, I'm seeing 60. So everyone has to agree to the answer that we're putting in. So you guys can see my screen, it says your answer here. So if I put in the wrong answer, we will not continue on to the next.
We have
section.
2 hands raised, Miss Mary. We've got Ava and Emmanuel Jacob.
Okay. Let's go, Ava. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Ava.
Okay, I have a question. So it says eggs are 12 cents a dozen. Does that mean it cost, you can buy, do you have to buy it in a dozen, or can you just buy it in
Excellent
one?
question.
Like, does it have to be?
You don't have to buy it in a dozen. You got to focus on the question. So how
Is
many
it
eggs,
asking you? Yeah.
how many eggs can you get for $1? So I'm seeing a lot of answers in the chat. Again, you guys have to agree to one answer. Go ahead, Stefan. You can unmute yourself, bud.
Or Emmanuel and Jacob. You have your hand raised.
96.
So that is not correct.
96 is not correct. So I'm seeing 100 in the chat. What do you guys think?
I'm seeing some good math.
Yeah.
Here, I'll pose a question. Now I'm seeing 118 and 100. Let's choose. Who thinks it's 118? Who thinks it's 100?
Give me a thumbs up if you think it's 100. Thumbs up. Okay, I think we will try 100. Let's see. Are we gonna go through? We are. Good job. All right.
Yes. Okay, guys. So we're looking, now we're in CVS and we're looking for our emergency kit. Miss Mary, can you scroll up?
Yes.
Okay, great job. Mr. Dustin and Miss Leon now have their emergency kit. They open it up and find a walkie-talkie. They try to remember the channel to have the ability to get in contact with the JMAC teens, but they don't remember it. To quickly contact Miss Leslie from JMAC, you must solve this rebus puzzle. A rebus puzzle is a picture puzzle. So Miss Mary's going to scroll down and you'll be able to see, what does this mean?
Are you guys able to see it?
Yes,
Okay.
I can see it. Maybe scroll a little more. So
That is the most that I can scroll.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So what is this trying to say? Maybe explain what a rebus puzzle is, Miss Allison.
Sure. So a rebus puzzle is something that you it's kind of a picture and you look. So I see some very good guesses and some correct guesses inside. I'll let you guys figure out which one. I see big deal. I see top deal. I see deal inside the box. What's the deal? Deal with it. So you guys have figured out it definitely has something to do with the word deal. We just have to agree on what that means.
Yes. So I'm seeing big deal. I'm seeing deal in the box.
I agree with mine.
The deal is in the box.
Now think those of you that are putting answers, think about does that make sense? Does deal in the box, is that something that we might use a phrase, or top deal or big deal? Kind of think of those things that we might actually use.
Emmanuel and Jacob.
Top deal.
A little bit louder.
Top deal.
So top deal is not correct.
Okay. So Ruben, Julian, and Samuel is trying to explain it through chat. They said the deal is big and the word is deal, so it's big deal. Do you guys agree with that? Should we try it out and see if it's the correct answer? Yes? Again, you all have to agree so we can go on and put it in the answer.
I see yeses, I see sures, I see
Okay.
yeah.
Let's try it out. Big deal. You are correct. Good job. Yes, so it was the font of deal was big, so it's big deal. All right, next one. It worked. Mr. Dustin gets a hold of Miss Leslie. Miss Leslie says, "Oh, finally, we've been trying to reach you. I heard that the safe zone is at Knott's Berry Farm. Let's meet up so we can all go together. Are your teens with you?" Mr. Dustin starts to cry. "No, I think they're still at the club. We need to find them first." What Mr. Dustin and Miss Leanne doesn't know is that the teen phones were confiscated at the club because Miss Alicia believes that cell phones attract the sick or zombies. They plan to go to Bandai Teen Center to meet with the teens. But how will they get there? To help Mr. Dustin and Miss Leanne get to the Bandai Teen Center with the use of bicycles, you have to solve this riddle. What word in the English language does the following? The first two letters signify a male. The first three letters signify a female. The first four letters signify greatness, while the entire word signifies a great woman. So this would be when you should be using your paper and something to write with, just so I can help you solve whatever this is. I already see an answer in the chat. Thank you, Abigail.
And if you think something's right, explain it. Why do you think it's right? So that everyone can get on board and agree.
Let's see. Vincent says women. Jolson says heroin. Ava says, oh my gosh, that's right. Ruben, Julian, and Samuel says, I agree with heroin. All right, what do you guys think? Should we put an answer?
Why do we think it's that? Who had it first? Abigail, why do we think it's heroin?
The first two letters of heroine start with H and E, which is male. And then the first three is HER, her, which is female. The first four is hero, which is greatness. And the entire word is heroine, which is a female hero.
Sounds pretty legit, guys.
Good job. Let's see. Oh, you were correct. Good job. I think that was Abigail. Good job, Abigail.
Yes. You helped the club staff get to the teen center. The teens were so happy to see their staff. However, they still need to find a cell phone so that they can use the Maps app to find their way to Knott's Berry Farm. Teen 1 says, Miss Alicia locked all our phones up in her office. Teen 2 says, we can't use those phones because it'll attract the zombies. Mr. Dustin says, we need to get to the safe zone, so we'll just have to take that risk. Club teens and staff walk over to Miss Alicia's office, but she has put a lock on her door. Oh no, the phones are right on her table. We can see them. To get the code for the lock, you must solve these math problems. Tom was asked to paint the number of plates on 100 apartments, which means he will have to paint numbers 1 through 100. Can you figure out the number of times he will have to paint the number 8?
Ooh, this was a good one.
So 1 through 100, guys.
Ava said, don't forget the 80s. Does anyone want to unmute themselves and explain how you could figure this one out? I think, Emmanuel, did you have your hand raised? Emmanuel or Jacob? Wait, what is the answer? Oh, I had to think about what the answer is. Okay, now I remember. It is not 11. I'll tell you that now. It's definitely not 800.
I don't
There's
think
only-
I don't think I've seen it yet in the chat. The correct answer.
There's only 100 apartments. It can't be 800. 80, not 80. I'm saying 20. Why do we think it's 20, Vincent? Vincent from One Apart, do you want to unmute? Seeing 18, 19, lots of different numbers.
So those of you that are giving answers, explain yourself so that you can get everyone to agree.
Yes, Emmanuel and Jacob, go ahead and unmute yourselves.
21.
21, why 21?
Because I don't know how to explain it, but
That's okay. That's okay. So they say 21, and then Ava, what do you say?
So look, Ava wrote something in the chat, guys.
Okay, so she actually wrote down all the apartment numbers that has a number 8. So how many is that? BGC Cypress is 68. $19, 21. Ava, do you want to unmute yourself?
Yeah, if you count all the 8s in the numbers I sent, including 88, since like there's 2 8s in 88, there's 21 8s.
There's how many? 20 or 21?
21.
Look at, so Ava, look at your numbers, what you put in the chat.
Did I count wrong?
You tell me.
Oh, okay, let me recount it.
Okay.
So can someone see the mistake in Ava's list here?
You go
Yes.
ahead, Abigail.
Abigail says there's 258. So Ava said 21. So could it be 20?
She said, LOL, whoops.
You guys want to go with 20? Yes? You guys are making me hungry. I see you're eating your pizza. All right, let's go ahead and try 20. Ooh, you are correct. Usually when you put in the wrong answer, all it will say try again. So again, you guys, we are trying to solve the lock code for this so we can get into Miss Alicia's office. So we got the first two numbers. Now we have to solve this one. Sorry,
they can't see it all.
Oh, sorry.
There. So this picture says truth or square. How many total squares are there? So we're looking at the blue and green squares on the right side of the page. So if you choose an answer, be prepared to back yourself up with why. Because I'm seeing 9, 10, 14, 10. Don't forget 4 of them on the bottom left. Also top right, 9. Ten because the outside squares. Ava says there's squares inside squares.
All right, so I'm seeing 14. Victor said I'll be 10.
We've got some agreement for 14.
So should we go with 14? 14, yes, 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 okay. 14. Well, it appears that 14 is correct. So what is the door lock code, you guys? Do you remember the first two numbers? Yes, it's 2014. Good job. All right, is this my turn? Can't keep going.
Yes.
Okay, you've opened the door. Now that you've opened the door and see the cell phone on the desk, you realize that all cell phones are dead except for one. You try to unlock this phone, but there's a password. Ugh, this phone is locked. The password to the cell phone is the same answer to this riddle. What room has no doors and no windows? Ooh, I'm seeing mushroom.
Mary, they can't see the question. I don't know if that's important.
I'm sorry, that is the lowest I can go. So the question is, what room has no doors and no windows?
So I see mushroom and I see bathroom and I see tree. I'm seeing a lot of agreement with mushrooms. Mushrooms because mushroom.
Okay.
Mushroom.
Well, mushrooms don't have doors and no windows, so we can try it out. Mushroom. Correct.